Here we have a zero-dimensional point. It has no space, length, width and height, and no time. Here we have a one-dimensional line. Its one dimension is length. It consists of two 0D points defining its bound, but contains potentially infinite 0D points within it, and so can also be visualized as. Here we have a two-dimensional square. Its two dimensions are length and width. It consists of four one-dimensional lines defining its bound, but contains potentially infinite one-dimensional lines within it, and so can also be visualized as. Note that the square isn't comprised of any one-dimensional line in particular, and diagonal lines from A to C, B to D, or any combination can be an example of one-dimensional line out of the infinite lines comprising this shape. This will be important for understanding time. From the one-dimensional perspective, a smaller line appears inward from the larger one, with lines connecting the ends. We can interpret that the smaller line is further away than the larger line, but perspective forces it to appear to us as smaller and inward. Here we have a three-dimensional cube. Its three dimensions are length, width and height. It consists of six two-dimensional squares defining its bound, but contains potentially infinite two-dimensional squares within it, and so can also be visualized as. In the two-dimensional perspective, a smaller square appears within the larger one, with lines connecting the corners. We can interpret that the inner square is further away in the third dimension than the larger square, but perspective forces it to appear to us as smaller and inward. Here we have a four-dimensional hypercube. Its four dimensions are length, width, height and time. It consists of 8 three-dimensional cubes defining its bound, but contains potentially infinite three-dimensional cubes within it, and so can also be visualized as. From the three-dimensional perspective, a smaller cube appears within the larger one, with lines connecting the corners. It can be interpreted that the inner cube is further away in the fourth dimension, time, but perspective forces it to appear to us as smaller and inward. And so our perspective of looking at time from the third dimension may be responsible for the direction of time we perceive, and why from this perspective time flows in one direction for the observer and not the other, A to C and not C to A. This shape or timeline